It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium. Made their way out of the stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Now the first carry for Bryce Love, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. So a nice run right there, and worth mentioning their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a short-term absence, but this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need it.
And to me, they definitely have that, because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. And he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Shotgun handoff now for Love. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Play fake. Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. A big play there on the catch and run. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 20, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. His 5th touchdown on the ground, number 8 overall. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They turn to Love on the handoff. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Rolling to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Lance on 3rd down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Throw left side complete. That's Love. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Still 15 yards to go, second down. They'll hand it off. It's Love. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Here's Mahomes to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. These two teams all tied after 1. Third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Now Lance. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shout along the way, too.
That's got to give him some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they have things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the carry, it's Love. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. It'll be Love to try and get the first. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
On first down, Mahomes. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Javon Kinlaw able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And that will be incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these 2 clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Right back to him on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, You're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Play action, now it's Lance. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now Joey Sly for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll buy some. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
1st and 10. Here's Lance.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lance. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Lance buying time to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Lance now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. Lance going to throw. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 54 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Down. 52 blue. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm here all day.
And to give this time to the tailback. They find some open field here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Only needed 1 yard. He said, I'll get you more than that.
Yeah, yard, piece of cake, right? And if you're a defender, seeing the back of the jersey and being able to read his name, not a good thing. That means you're in chase mode. That didn't go well for them on that snap.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now they try the right side here. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Staying on the ground, it's Love. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Mahomes looks to throw on third down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
95 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now a handoff as they run left side. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Hey, here we go. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
114 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Niners on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And now here's a carry heading left. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Steps away to his left. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd and inches, Mahomes, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
57. Mike.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Forced out to his left. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So the victory here for San Francisco. And